All right, guys, let's go. Down here in the bottom left side, it's Dragon Phoenix Gaming Zest. And he's playing the Grand Finals opening with a proxy gateway. Old school, baby. Up against BYUN in the top right from Shopify Rebellion. This is the first gateway on the other side of the map. It's a max pack style build order. What's really cute is he didn't actually scout. And he's just sent the probe home after building the gateway to build the Nexus. Now, if BYUN only scouts the Nexus and then goes home, he's screwed. And he's already scouting really late, which means he might put the command center down even before he sees this natural. You can see he's almost at 400 minerals. BYUN, no, you gotta scout further, BYUN. Oh, BYUN, he's doing the old school lazy scout. Oh my god, oh my god. So he puts the command center down and then he builds a tech lab. Okay, at least he's going Marauders next, which is pretty decent at fighting early units. But BYUN, oh, he does this build so much on this map, and he's so much to open his series in the Weekly Cup. I think Zest realized this and was like, you know what? 2 Zealots and a Stalker. Have fun dealing with that, mate. Have fun dealing with that. Big thank you. Get back a goose with the tier 1 sub. Much love, mate. Really appreciate the love, everybody out there in Twitchland. And here we go. SCV is going to go up there as well. Okay, SCV is continuing to build for a moment. He's getting a bit more build time on it. Marauder's going to pop out. And the Marine coming back to help defend as well. With the help of Concussive, he definitely could do okay. Depot lowers, Depot raises. That's what we call the Depot that says, ha, you can never get this. The Marauders will come down. He needs to get enough damage on the Zealots. That's really what he's aiming for right now. And look, he pulls the SCVs. Oh, don't lose the Marine. Oh no, he lost the Marine. That's not good. Concussive is not quite ready yet, guys. And notice he needs enough SCVs because otherwise his Marauders could get overwhelmed. And doesn't actually lose any SCVs. Well done by BYUN. He's going to start a bunker up now. Concussive is done, so you know as Zest, you've got to be really careful until you get an extra gateway unit out. This was really well held. The tech lab opening, even though he had no idea this was happening, he actually is actually holding really well. Super duper well. 2 Stalkers, a Zealot, 3 Marauders trying to defend. Right now, he does focus the Stalkers down. And look at that. I like the way BYUN changed targets because one of them got out of range. But look at that. He's going to be able to take out 2 Stalkers and he keeps both Marauders alive. The Zealot's like, run away. The Marauder's like, where are you going, bro? Bro, where are you going? Where are you going, Zealot? And he lets him walk away. Oh. Okay. Not the right time for that Marauder to shit talk, apparently. He got a little nervous and did turn around. 2 gateways are building at home, as well as a Robo. The Marauders are going to come out now. There's 3 of them. And there is, guys, 1 Zealot, 1 Stalker. These Marauders, honestly, maybe they could have even moved across the map and done some damage. Zest has no production right now. He's building a battery. No, he's not. He's trying to chrono an Immortal just so he has something to bounce back off of. On the other hand, BYUN's production is late. He's building a 2nd barracks, right? He's got the factory building Widow Mines, Starport on the way. He's going to use those Widow Mines in case there's an Oracle follow-up. We'll see how it goes. Big thank you, Caveman and Death Paradise there. Coming in, keeping that hype train going. If you guys are watching live on Twitch, guys, we're at 43% with 2 minutes left on the hype train, which means by the time you hear this, it's almost out. It's almost out. Ugh. Robo Bay is on the way. Engineering Bay as well. Sentry, Immortal, Stalker, Zealot gathering up. I feel like just Widow Mine drop into it. 2 barracks. Stim push could be really beautiful. Get a 3rd barracks in here as well. Build a reactor on these 2 after this is done. Zest is going to play 2 base Colossus though. Very good versus Marine heavy styles. He's going to have Observers as well, which is obviously going to be effective against the Widow Mine drop. Not that he needs it. There's no armory. Okay, so guys, we're about to see that awkward moment. Oh, but the Prism turns around. I think Zest is planning a Colossus drop. Oh, he's going Speed Prism Colossus drop. Oh my god, he's going for a Speed Prism Colossus drop. Unfortunately, he doesn't see the medevac coming. Accidental Guardian Shield here. I think he meant to do a Hallucination Scout. He pressed the wrong button. Not good for Zest. BYUN's going to drop 1 Widow Mine there, surely. No, he's going to drop them all in the main. Interesting. Colossus is about to pop. 1, 2, 3 Widow Mines. 1 of them. Oh, all of them able to burrow. And he focuses the Prism down, which was a really weird choice by BYUN because he doesn't actually kill the Prism and he only gets 6 probes. The probes didn't run away, but I think it's because he thought Zest was going to try and pick up the probes to dodge the Widow Mine. So BYUN got extra fancy and then targeted the Warp Prism, and then the probes just sat there and it was like, well, maybe we should have just shot the probes, but It is what it is, guys. Once again, awkward moment. Medevac boosts. The Warp Prism's like, I have a speed upgrade. I'm super fast. There's already 2 Vikings on the way, though. And honestly, your bio, you just want to move that out to the left side, don't you? But no, turret's finished, so it's all fine. Turret there. Doesn't even need one in the main. The 2 Vikings are already almost here. And Zest, he's got his 3rd on the way, but it's pretty late. No economic advantage. Remember, with mules dropping, Terran will be ahead on that income. Viking gets a shot if this thing's so fragile. It needs to get out of there. Colossus drop doesn't find anything. He's got another Immortal out right now. Okay, so Zest is actually being really clever. I think he's going to swap into Disruptors, pure Immortal Disruptor like Charge, and just try to say, look, you're probably going to build so many Vikings here. I'm not even going to commit to Colossus. I'm going to just swap into a pure ground army, Templar Archives, all this stuff, and try to get up that way. But no battery even started. He's going to see this army, immediately drop a shield battery on this 3rd, but he should know he's already in huge trouble. He can hold this choke for a little bit with force fields. Where's the shield battery, Zest? He's trying to do some fancy Colossus micro right now, but oh man, the Colossus almost straight up dies there. Oh, the Vikings almost take it out. He's doing some sick dodges, but dude, I don't think he has enough firepower. The Colossus is going to run forward. The Prism is already gone. Colossus says, spready to the gods, as it floats into the bloody camera reticle. The Marines and Marauders come in and Zest. This gateway build stopped by the Marauder opening. A very safe build order for BYUN. Well played. The guys going into game 2. Zest there, not quite working out in the early game. Just a nice opening to put some pressure on, but I think a really just safe pull. Many SCVs came down for BYUN. Didn't take any chances, and that was the secret to success. Getting rid of those Zealots, letting the Marauders do their work. Well played. Now, a lot of people might think, ooh, sigh of relief. BYUN is actually massively unfavored versus S. That's way better than him, obviously. You got to remember, guys, BYUN until recently had a crushing win record head-to-head versus Zest. BYUN was smashing Zest for a lot of last year. And before that, despite Zest otherwise performing much higher than BYUN in big international tournaments. Now, on the other hand, I just looked up the results. Zest is on an 11 series win streak versus BYUN. 11 best of 3s, best of 5s that he has beaten BYUN. And a lot of them have been 3-2s, 3-1s, 2-1s. You know, very few one-sided scorelines. But can you believe it? Dude, Zest has actually just been destroying BYUN in the last few months. So that's really super cool, man. SCV comes in, sees the command center. He still doesn't bother scouting for anything else. BYUN's like, hey, didn't matter last time. Why should it matter this time? And he's going Tech Lab again, so he's doing the same opening. Who the hell would expect that, right? Zest is opening up with this Zealot. Now, this Zealot has taken the meta by storm. What on surface value, surface face value looks really, really inefficient. I'm going to make a Zealot. I'm going to slow my Nexus down. I'm going to slow my core down and everything else. But it allows you to put pressure on, gives you scouting, and it is just this way, especially if you're going to skip the probe scout early on. Hey, I've already got a Zealot. It's going to go check out what's happening, and it is a nice little way to, I think, simplify the opening. I don't think it's technically the best way to play PvT. It's very untrap. It's very unstats for when he comes back. But for the hero, Max Packs, Zest Age of StarCraft 2, I do like the aggressive Marauder to disrupt the opponent. And it can pair up with the Adept for a bit of follow-up pressure. You do want to be careful here as Zest. My stomach just grumbled like a psychopath right now, making some crazy noises. 2 Marauders are going to go for a bit of a circle here. And I've got to question why Zest would try to attack into a Marauder opening. Zest, are you drunk? How much soju, guys? Are there? I think there's a couple of bottles of open soju on the desk. BYUN takes an extra Zealot hit unnecessarily. This Adept is still here. God knows why right now. I mean, he's got an Oracle on the way, and maybe he's just trying to distract. But this is crazy, ridiculous, and silly plays by Zest. You spotted the Marauder with your Adept, or even with the Zealot, whatever it was, and then you still decided to commit. Now, there's no units right now, so this is actually really cute. This is clever, because he knew the Marauders were moving out, and he said, okay, I'll just go in, and guess what? You have no unit production at that time. And especially if the Widow Mine goes down to the natural, it isn't going to be guarding against the Oracle. Oracle also says, guess what, dickheads? You can't shoot up! The Marauders straining against the restrictions of their power armor. They just can't quite lift those Punisher grenade launchers up high enough. But you know what, guys? Oracle didn't focus fire, so the Marauders actually get 3 probes. Not too bad, but the Adept is still killing SCVs. This is getting real sloppy for both sides. This is a bit of a messy early game. I feel like BYUN here not playing quite as cleanly as he could have. Now, that Adept can 1v2 Marines, guys. The Widowmine, I don't know why that would have ran away just there. This is a bit sloppy from BYUN. I mean, okay, extra Marine pops out just in time, so it's all right. But the Widowmines aren't burrowed. He knows there's an Oracle, and he's trying to go do a Widowmine drop. This is ridiculous play by BYUN. Zest had an absolute brain fart in the opening, played like a donkey, and apparently BYUN said the good counter to that is to come down to your level. He's very lucky that that Oracle ran out of energy and wasn't able to finish off that Widowmine on the top side. And Zest doesn't get the SCV kills, which he probably should have been able to get. Now that he's out of energy, oh, a bit of an early unburrow from BYUN, but only loses 2 SCVs for it. Surprising how well he got away with that. And he's building tanks, 3 Marines, stim all at once. It's a good setup for a push. It's a really quick third off 1 gate. Going up to the 2nd and 3rd gateway, Zest should have a bit of urgency around building a Twilight Council. Right now he's got 3 Oracles and a Phoenix out. Should be enough to kill these Widow Mines. Is it actually 11? Was Pig exaggerating? It's actually 11. I'm not joking, guys. I wouldn't just make up a number. He actually has beat him the last 11 times. I did not even expect that. Because I remember last time I said that Zest is way better than BYUN. I was totally wrong last time I checked the stats. But there we go. The Widow Mines do go down. Yeah, so last time I looked up people, it might have been Wriggle who called me out. And he was like, Pig, you want to check your stats on that? Because I was like, oh man, like Zest just so favored versus BYUN. I checked it, and BYUN had like a 60% win rate versus BYUN. This was quite a few months ago. And yeah, now I check it, and I'm like, holy crap, man. Holy win streak, dude. 11 series in a win. Wins in a row. Now, there's not much mobile anti-air. He's trying to build turrets. He's got plenty of Marines. The problem here for BYUN is that it's very obvious what he's going to do. You see tank, you see lots of Marines, you see 3 barracks set up. Like, I mean, this is pretty obvious. He has to do a big push on you. And you're just going to go charge +1 and just make gateways and zealots. There is, I mean, maybe get a Templar Archives for some Archons because you've already got 4 gases, but there's no way you're getting Storm in time. So as Zest, what you do is you set up a Zealot flank. So the moment BYUN moves out, you want to counterattack his natural, and then pull those Zealots back and flank his army with them afterwards. A Stalker accidentally walked in there. That's got to be a mistake from Zest. Don't think he did that on purpose, guys. And the Phoenix are being a little annoying. They're trying to find these openings, but the push is moving out right now. BYUN's saying, okay. Oh, that's cute. But BYUN's like, all right, you can freeze like 2 or 3 SCVs. Oh, he got the mule. But the mule did run out anyway. I didn't realize the mule could run out while in a stasis trap. That's interesting. And, ooh, it's a big army, man. Stim and shields. I mean, Stim's done. +1 weapons and shields are both 30 seconds away, but Zest doesn't even have charge. Zest doesn't even have charge. So battery overcharge buys you a few seconds here, but you can still, even that, you can power through. The Marines should pull back. They should pull back. They should pull back. You don't want to fight into Oracle battery overcharge, BYUN. That was a really bad fight. He lost like 6-7 Marines there for no reason. You've got to keep that firepower going. Now that the batteries have used that overcharge, I think BYUN still wins this game because there's not that much healing left. Maybe about 250 shields worth. Oh, and now with that battery going down, nothing. So as long as BYUN doesn't get caught by those Zealots intercepting his rally, look at this, man. Oh, he's killing all the Zealots. Oh, man. Crisp timing attack from BYUN. And as silly as BYUN got with some of his micro earlier moves, Zest even sillier, throwing away all those earlier gateway units, not finding the damage with the Oracles. And look at this beautiful timing attack from BYUN. 2 barracks, non-stop Marines, 3rd barracks added on, pulls a handful of boys for repair, the bunkers, the turrets. Zealot Phoenix ain't going to do jack against this. Thanks for the great, awesome commentary. Thank you, Caveman, you absolute baboon. You stupid caveman. I love it. Thank you very much for the love, mate. Didn't realize my text-to-speech was still on there. But big thanks for everyone supporting the channel. And big thanks to BYUN here for giving us a 2-0 lead so we can set up for the exciting Zest 3-2 reversal. It's happened a lot of times before. Do not count Zest out yet. Down 2 games. A rough start to this series, but he's still sticking with this Zealot pressure. Zest making 0 adaptations against BYUN. Says, you know what would be a good idea? I'm going to do the exact same opening, because if there's one guy who's silly enough to do the exact same thing against me 3 times in a row, it's probably Zest. And indeed, Zest is. I mean, at least he's going for a Stalker this time, rather than the Adept. Stalker's a bit better at dealing with the Marauder. Even though it's more vulnerable to dying to it, it does a lot more damage to it, so a single Stalker with a shield battery can defend Marauders very well. And, 2nd barracks on the way. So that Marauder there, of course, more than a match for the Zealot. With micro, concussive shells will be done in about 10 seconds as well, making it even easier for him. And Zest comes in, sees the Marauder, and it's going Twilight Council this time around. So Zest going to be swapping back to some Blink play. The Zealot really not achieving much for him. I guess he's just comfortable with this opening right now, using the Zealot as a scout. Fair enough. I'll allow it, as long as that Stalker stays at home. Twilight Council there. Let's see what happens. I'm sorry, I had no idea that was text speech. It's not your fault. I just had the alerts unmuted, Caveman. Don't worry about that, buddy. It's not your fault at all. It's just I'm like, oh, whoops, I left the alert sounds on so we can interrupt my fights and stuff accidentally. Guys, this is 3 barracks and a quick eBay. Oh my god, BYUN. Ooh, and he's gonna have a really juicy 3 racks timing. And you know what? He's playing against 2-gate into Robo. The Observer gets out off this build and gets across the map at like the bio sometimes is already arriving at your side of the map when the Observer's kind of getting to the Terran side of the map. If you don't happen to see his army coming through the middle, you could just die as Zest. Now Zest is going 4-gate Blink though, so that's going to make him a bit safer here. 4-gate Blink, very good at shutting down a 3 racks timing if the Terran overcommits to it. On the other hand, you do not get the economic advantage because you don't have like a quick 3rd base, so it becomes much more locked in on those early fights around Stim, Bio, Stalkers, especially when the medevacs come out, the Terran can be a bit more mobile. Second gas does start mining on the natural. You can see if you're playing 2 gas, you need the second gas pretty early, about 3:45. He does take a 3rd gas though. Okay, BYUN's going to drop a factory in a moment here. 4:15. Wow, very crisp factory timing. Notice he's cutting bio production to do it. BYUN's not going to be leaning into a stim timing, guys. He's playing super marine heavy, which means he doesn't have many marauders to help deal with stalkers either, just the early ones, right? But 2 reactors gives you sick production, and very curious to see how it goes. Marauders would be better up against this, but I like that the bunker's close to the mineral line. He can pull to repair that very easily. He's got a few marine spotters out there, and he's just kind of looking for incoming oracles, units, anything like that. Probably go straight tech lab on the factory and try to build tanks when he sees this. It's a big pressure coming. Let's go to BYUN's camera, guys. BYUN, immediate tech lab on the factory is what he should be doing. He's already got SCVs ready to repair. His bio here should actually go forward to the left, right maybe, but oh, he doesn't have enough SCVs, does he? Oh, he tries to punish, but good pullbacks. Dude, not a single Stalker went down. 1 Zealot for a bunker. You got to restart it right now. BYUN does restart the bunker, but Zest, oh, he's done this so well. At BYUN, he has to use another stim just to try and chase Zest away. But Zest is like, dude, you're not getting those hit points back. This is so bad. BYUN's dead, probably. BYUN's going to try to get back to his bunker, but he can't even use another stim to escape. These Stalkers might even be able to blink on him now because he's so damaged. He's trying to build a reactor, so he's going to try and get the healing up. He does get this bunker, but this is so many Stalkers. They can one-shot it if they blink forward. But, oh my god, he 2-shots it. Oh my god, this is so bad for BYUN. BYUN should have pulled about 10 SCVs there. He's way up on workers. Zest is basically all in. But you know what? Your bio is so weak and fragile here. And every stim you use like that is just so bad. Buys you a moment of time, but I mean, it's death by 1,000 stims, essentially. That's how this army's going to die. Bio, 1 more stim, probably the last one it has in it. SCV's pulled off the line. He's got to crush these Stalkers. Stalkers so fragile versus the heavy Marauder count. The Marines, 1 more stim coming in. Can BYUN break out? He can! Guys, he's only down a handful of SCVs. Zest did not take a 3rd during that, but it's not over just yet. Still 4 Stalkers in the prism. 5 or 6 more Stalkers there as well. Picks off a couple of more of these units. BYUN's going to need to do some fancy micro, picking up and dodging those projectiles. 2 medevacs on the way at a time. A tank on the way at a time. Zest is going charge. +1 armor. Still no 3rd base though. I think if Zest took a 3rd, he might have been way ahead, but as it is, he goes in there. Does pick off a Marauder. And look at that. Nice little split from BYUN. Medevac, 2 Marauders, 2 Marines go in the main. They will take out those Stalkers though. Gets 1 Stalker. The other one's still all deep in the red and yellow there. Storm is on the way. Good comeback tech there for Zest. And Zest needs to hold that probe key down. He's trying to make some sort of army that can scale into the later stages. Stalkers come in. They don't manage to kill anything. You're going to need to build a Viking. Ooh, tank on the high ground. Very nice. And that tank should stabilize him. And he's well set up right now. Zest is going to try and leave this base without having to waste his recall. And he should get out of there. Indeed, he will. Okay, wow. So as the dust settles, equal workers, which is very good for Terran. Terran's ahead on upgrades. And how much energy do we have? So 3 High Templar. It's often what the pros go for. So they're gathering energy. Needs to get the Warp Prism back, load that up with the High Templar. He's got a lot of Stalkers out. So he's got a lot of very valuable, effective units to Zest. Obviously, the economy's not great for him. 3rd CC's on the way, so BYUN will be able to improve that economy roughly in line. But if BYUN ends up pushing into the Zealot Storm, I mean, just one good fight and Zest got this, right? He's already hiding that. Storm's done, and he's got Storm Energy. And there's not that many Marines, so I don't see him killing the Warp Prism. Actually, yeah, this is a really good army for Zest. BYUN has no idea about it. Oh god, but Zest doesn't see him. Oh my god, BYUN's about to jump in. This could be so good for BYUN. Oh no, Zest. Zest's just gonna go for broke. Zest's like, F it, I'm already all in, man. I gotta go push the front, but there's a tank on the high ground. If BYUN can keep these tanks up and just not get nailed by Storm too badly, he could do really well. That tank's gonna siege, but oh, the Storm comes in. The SCVs are pulled. The tank's trying to defend. Marines run into the 3rd. They're gonna kill a lot of probes. These tanks on the high ground are absolutely smashing with the extra units coming out as well. I think this army will eventually get defeated. And guess what? Your production is gone. You've got a natural. You're trying to make some High Templar, some Zealots. Meanwhile, BYUN rallying inside his main, trying to get out a few more units. He's going to pull the boys. He's going to try and fight all together here, but he doesn't have a lot of firepower. Tank pops out. It goes down. The SCVs will go down as well. And he's only going to take out a few more of these Protoss units. The Guardian Shield was especially effective. Looks like he got in and he's taking out the rest of the production, but the Zealots and the High Templar escaped. And that's really important. Even though he lost the Warp Prism. He lost the Warp Prism? Did he fly it into the missile turret? Dude, he lost the Warp Prism. I didn't realize he lost that Warp Prism, but he's got a Psystorm. So his army should scale a little bit better. Stim Bio is good, but there's a bigger army supply right now for the Protoss. The thing is, does he have enough money to rebuild? Yes, he does. He gets a Nexus here. Gonna go for that base. Command centers are flying out right now. The orbitals should just be hiding and sneaking out later. You don't want to lose the orbital to the Stalkers, but he's going to, man. Oh no. Oh, and even more Zealots escape for Zest. Oh, that's why his army supply is so big. BYUN, he should have hidden this. Oh no. Oh, I mean, BYUN's still got a lot of supply free, but remember that was 15 supply there. These depots are all gonna fall. And then he's going to be super supply blocked, and didn't get a single SCV out. It looks like those 5 Zealots hunted down all of his SCVs. Ooh, and now the Stalker's going after his barracks as well. I think for BYUN, your best bet is probably to get a draw, hide some buildings and get a draw, but I don't know. Right now, you gotta, okay, he really wants to not lose this command center. Hello, oh my god, he's gonna lose the command center, which means he can't rebuild his mining at all. Oh my god, you're kidding me. But with the Stalkers out of position, he's like, screw it, I'll go kill your base then. There's no money. There is no ability to build a single extra structure right now for Zest. Not even a single structure. And oh, he recalls the Stalkers though. Oh, and look at that, the Marines run in, GG. Oh, Zest! Bringing it back in game 3. I told you to not count him out. Do not count this man out. All right, still fighting for his life. He's not going to give up just yet. This is Dragon Phoenix Gaming Zest. So out of position for the base trade. And yet he just commits, runs across the map, seals the victory. He's going 17 Nexus after gate. He's doing Parting's build. Yeah, and then 17 gas. And then he builds a probe, right? And then an 18 Cybercore. Yeah. He's doing Parting's build. I think he's doing it to the letter as well. Okay, now is BYUN going to open once again? He's not building anything out of his barracks. BYUN! BYUN! What is this? Oh, he's rushing his command center. And he's going to go Marine into Factory this game. Interesting. So Zest is going to go for a proxied second gateway, guys. He's just going to stay 1 gas geyser. He's going to build a 3rd gateway at home. And then he'll go for Adept. So he should be warping in 3 Adepts here at 3 minutes and 18 seconds. Harstem did a video about this. I did a video about this. It was Harstem who brought my attention to it. So all props go to him for recognizing. And you want to chrono the Adept. You want to chrono the Cybercore like 3 more times. So once, twice, and then as you hit the next 50 energy after this 50 energy, I think you put a 3rd chrono into it as well. Now there might be a small gap or 2 here in your probes, but this is a really vicious timing attack. The thing is, it's really weak against just Hellions getting massed out of BYUN. But if you just warp in Stalkers instead of Adepts, then, well, you might just have the numbers to overwhelm. And normally the best counter to it is you keep a tank on the high ground, you build a bunker, and you just pull your SCVs away whenever the Adepts shade in. And you just kind of weather the storm, defend, and accept the fact that, hey, you lose some economy, you lose some mining time, but the Protoss player is going to commit so much to this. Like, their tech is so late. So the thing is, they have a good army and a good economy, but their gas, their tech is minutes behind. So let's see how we go. Okay, so we see, guys, 3 Adepts, and 3 minutes 18 is when that warp-in's meant to be. Normally it's only 2 Adepts here, so he somehow got an extra 1, which means it's going to be a 6 Adept timing? It's meant to be a 5 Adept timing. How do you do that? Wow, oh, wow. So he actually squeezes that in. 6 Adepts coming in, guys. And this is his first scouting of the natural, and he's like, oh. And BYUN's just like, dude, I don't even have SCVs down there, dummy. So it's kind of good for BYUN that he didn't have that. Widowmine fires, and he pulls that one back. Very nicely done. Oh, he's going to try and bait the Widowmine. Nice burrow, unburrow by BYUN. And BYUN here building a Cyclone. And he goes for a Marine drop. He's like, okay, well, if I'm stuck in my main, I'm going to go counter drop you. So you need to warp in Stalkers at home. But Zest has already warped in Stalkers on the other side of the map. And I think he's realizing right now, okay, I got to be careful. I got to run home, man. Warps in a Stalker at home. Twilight Council finishing at 410. He's got a second gas up. No third base just yet. Trying to add these gases. And, oh, that drop going around, man. I think he might have caught a glimpse of it on the watchtower, but the drop is already going in. He's going to have to do a recall. He recalls the Adepts and the Stalkers, and BYUN just going to fly on out of there. Takes a few more Stalk hits than he probably should have, but that's all right, because now he knows, okay, time to set up on my base. I can go home, pick up my Widow Mines, go back for a Widow Mine drop after repairing the medevac. And, yeah, he's building tanks. Should keep up the Marine production as well. Still a lot of gateway units out, but feels like this is just forced into a macro game now, and both sides should be decently happy with where they are. One thing you can look for is if you just go for a really crisp kind of 3-rack stim push, they don't have time to get up Charge or Colossus because their tech's so late. But because BYUN's gone Raven, Cyclone, and multiple tanks, his 3-racks push is going to be very late. And as a result, I think it's a bit of a wash. I think it evens out. So we've got obviously like, oh, Blink finishing at 6 minutes is going to suck, right? Well, there's not that much pressure coming out. 2 Widow Mines, and that's it. Now, if BYUN could also clear that gateway off the map during this interim, that would be fantastic. Send his Cyclone out to scout, that sort of thing would be good. Both sides very blind right now, and there's going to be a 2 Widow Mine drop heading towards the main base. But this main base is pretty bad to drop. You want to come in from here and hit the natural because they won't see you until you come off that pillar, off that high ground. So I'm hoping BYUN goes for the natural rather than the main, as that main is super well defended. If he boosts into that, it's probably going to do nothing. Zest is going to fight back with a Warp Prism. I imagine Charge should be queued up momentarily. Doesn't look like he's got any splash, so yes it is. Oh, he actually comes in on the bottom edge. Zest doesn't see it straight away. That one, oh! I can't believe that burrowed in time. He gets a Stalker and 7 probes. No way. And now he's just going to go to the third base, I think. Oh, he does drop it, but he won't get that in time. And that one does not burrow in time. Still worth it, I think, guys. 7 probes. That's pretty nice. There's a shield battery here. So I don't think the Raven will really achieve anything. Cyclone poking around. He's going to see what's up. And actually catches an Adept drop coming across. He's going to scan. Oh, Zest is a bit slow to react. Zest is a bit slow to react, and he actually loses the Prism. Cyclone doesn't even try to get out of there. He's like, dude, my job here is done. And the Raven doesn't find much. Oof, takes a bit of damage as well. Got to be careful with that. Still a gateway up on the other side of the map. Lots of gateways coming in, guys. Going up to 8 gateways, including the proxy. BYUN will go out, and he's going to spot that drop and will, of course, say, oh, I'm spotted, and he'll just unload on it. So you'll see BYUN notice this and go, oh, okay, let's clear that up. He okay. I like that he shows himself boosting past it. So Zest's like, are you for real? Okay, I got to defend my main, I guess. And then he just turns around and is like, no, I am clearing it up. Third CC is on the way. This one's going to go right through to the mid game. We've got Bio coming out. We need more medevacs. Yep, 2 medevacs. He's going to join this army together. Shields and +1 will be kicking in shortly. No splash damage still. It's just lots of sentries, lots of stalkers. Battery on the natural. On the third base, sorry, which is going to be the likely attack angle. But there's a tank, a few Widow Mines. The army feels like it's better quality. There's a new Prism going for an Adept drop. Raven comes in, drops an auto turret in the natural. It's going to chase that one off from mining. The tank siege is up, as well as the Widow Mines in the bio. The battery's gone. Force field's only snagging 3 or 4 Marines, and the tank is firing the whole way. Zest is getting slaughtered here. The auto turret drops again there on the natural. Probes are getting picked up by that. Another stim. He says, hey, well, we're in range of a third base. We've already got so much damage. And BYUN absolutely squishes Zest 3-1. He breaks his 11-loss streak. That there is absolutely legendary. And man, weird of Zest to mix in the parting build. But I think a good idea generally. But of course, because he didn't scout it all, he had no idea that BYUN was like not even floating down to the low ground yet. Often there's like 5-6 SCVs down there. And you're like, cool, let's get it. This is such an early attack. And it just didn't do that well. BYUN was playing really safe this series, and everything was up in the main. If those Adepts got on top of these Marines, they might kill them all, man. Especially if some of that Widowmine splash hits the Marines. The remaining Adepts, the next wave coming in, are going to cause so much trouble. But very well played by BYUN. Zest does not find the damage, and I pointed out earlier, I was like, what's the transition? The tech's going to be really late. And Zest didn't go for a transition. He literally just added sentries, stalkers, blink. No splash damage, no charge. This was a very odd transition for Zest. I don't mind the blink to get some control, but I do think you should be going Colossus much quicker off of this opening. And I guarantee you by the time that push came, if this was parting, he would have had a Colossus with that follow-up, and it would have been a much closer game, which still would have been harder to defend, but it would have been more of a trade. Of course, just going Zealots off of here, his gateways were so slowed down by losing those probes. Finally starts the gateway explosion, but losing the Prism as well. Just so many details going to BYUN. Well played, BYUN. You are the weekly NA champion. GG.